Capital Views is sponsored by Northrim Bank, Alaska Oil and Gas Association, ConocoPhillips, and Linden.
Hi, I'm Tim Bradner with Alaska Legislative Digest, and welcome to Capitol Views. And a special welcome today to Dr. Cheryl Siemers, the new Chancellor at the University of Alaska, Anchorage. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. It's a privilege to be here today.
Dr. Siemers, as I understand, you're a longtime Alaskan, and you have extensive experience in the UAA satellite campus in the Kenai Peninsula. Maybe tell us a little of your background and how you got to Alaska and how you got to UAA.
Great. Thank you, Tim. I want to kick off by saying I'm a longtime Alaskan. I came up for the first time in the 1990s and fell in love with the place. I also want to say that I'm a proud alum of UAA, having received a master's degree here in English. I went out of state, as many do, to pursue my doctorate degree, but I always had in mind to come back to the state. I found myself on the peninsula in the early 2000s, thinking maybe I'd stay 3 to 5 years, maybe explore another part of the state. And I've had a wonderful 20 years working at Kenai Peninsula College.
And then to Anchorage.
And then on to Anchorage. I began the interim role as Chancellor here at UAA in the spring of last year for what was going to be about a 6-month stay. The interim role was extended in October, and now here we are in the spring of this year, and it's been made permanent. That's a privilege and an honor, and I'm excited.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Maybe we could talk a little bit about where UAA, which is the state's largest university, where it fits into the overall UAA picture. There's 3 campuses. Each of them sort of have different missions. Talk a little bit about UAA.
Yes, you are correct in that we all have a little bit of different focus, UAS, UAF, and UAA. At UAA, we're a dual mission institution. We are pushing into the needs of the state in the area of workforce. I describe dual mission as meaning that there's a community campus model, or we call them community campuses, a community college model, wrapped up in all the offerings that we have here, from certificates to 2-year degrees, then 4-year degrees, graduate works, and of course, Ph.D. So we are a comprehensive university, and I think that helps position us well to meet the needs of the state.
And UAA is also an open university in the sense that it's open to all comers in a sense. And that's, maybe you could describe how that works.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe I'll start by talking a little bit about, a typical student. For those listening online, maybe some of us knew where we were going when we headed into college, and maybe some of us didn't. Open access allows learners to enroll, to come in, to apply, and to be accepted. And I like to say we get to help students see where they fit. For some, you may come in and pursue a 6 months credential and then find out this higher education context is really for me, and take your credential further to a 2-year or 4-year degree. We have stackable credentials, which means that often those 2-year degrees are embedded in a pathway to a 4-year degree or on. Open access means we're open to all learners, and we have the support systems here to help students succeed.
That's interesting. One of the more innovative programs that you have going is the middle school concept, where high school students can enroll in dual enrollment and earn college credits. And maybe get a sense of how that's going, and maybe how many there are high school students enrolled.
Absolutely. So for dual enrollment, and I'll maybe talk about the different campuses. I believe on Anchorage here, we're at about 1,500. But as you know, we have many campuses across the system. So we have Mat-Su College, Kenai Peninsula College, Prince William Sound College, and Kodiak College, as well as our location here in Anchorage. All of those locations have offerings for high school students where they can come in, take classes, and get credit toward their high school degree or their high school credential, while also earning university credits. And for some, we've graduated students that have earned a 2-year degree at the same time they're graduating high school. And those programs are growing in all locations.
And you mentioned how many UA? 1,500?
Mhm,
1,500 middle school students.
mhm.
That is remarkable. Um,
That may be across the whole campus, Tim. I would want to give you an accurate number on that.
yeah. Well, no matter what, it's pretty impressive because it just gives these young people a jump start at finishing their programs. Talk a little bit about the career and technical aspects. And this ranges all the way from auto shop to health to education. Some of the talk about some of the career opportunities that people can open up uh, with taking classes at UAA.
Sure. Obviously, we have a wide range of offerings. Some of our popular, I'll jump in with some of our popular workforce credentials because I think that's what you're driving at with this question. So, for example, our process technology degree is a 2-year degree. That might employ people on the slope or in process tech industries throughout the state. Coming in and getting that 2-year credential sets you up for work in our industries in Alaska. For students coming out of that, starting pay can often range around 80,000. For welding, our students are often hired before they can even complete the degree. And those two track into high earning potential as well as high demand across the state. As you know, UAA is a leader in some of the healthcare and health force industries in the state. And so we're growing programs and growing enrollment in that area quite considerably. We have a new dean, Dr. Jay Butler, who's leading some of those initiatives.
Well, there's certainly a lot going on, and there's also an automobile technology program too, as I recall.
Yes, we do. And aviation. I don't wanna miss aviation because that's an important need in our state as well.
And the uh, so much demand for particularly workforce skills, particularly in the healthcare field and education also. What's the latest on the university's rebuilding its education programs?
Absolutely. I think we're growing in that area. We're seeing increased enrollments in education. As you know, that's a pivotal concern for the state as well. We've developed new apprenticeship programs. They've been going for a few years now, and we kind of call it grow your own. So we're looking at ways to build teachers in rural locations across the state, here in Anchorage, where you can get the credentials to go into the classroom. So taking students where they're at and helping them gain the needed skills they have to meet our work-based needs for education.
Dr. Yeah, that's very interesting. Dr. Siemers, what's the overall trend for UAA enrollment? Or is it stable? Is it growing? Y- what's the latest impression that you have?
Great. We are growing. We are up 2% in student enrollment for this spring semester. We're up almost 6% in the number of credits students are taking. So we're seeing a positive trend there. And I think anecdotally, what I hear from families across the state, from middle college students, to people wanting to pursue new training opportunities, is that UAA is becoming a first choice for students to attend. And we're excited about that. We are maybe bucking trends, I would say, that are in part across the lower 48, where we're seeing steep enrollment declines. We're seeing students want to stay and engage in our university and in our state, and that's exciting.
Well, that's encouraging. Well, thank you very much for joining us. Good news, and we will continue the conversation.
I appreciate the time today. Thank you so much.